buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became number one by making you number one first. Parsons.
Johnny's wants to know if you remember what TV show premiered on September 26th in 1969.
Here's a story of a store named Johnny's. We've been serving you since 1955. Our selection's really great, like no other. We have everything. If you need shrimp, if you need steak, we can help you out with fish and chicken too. Just ask our friendly staff, they're the greatest. They'll even log into your car for you. You'll love our store. You'll love our store. Stop into our Johnny's store today.
Johnny's with two great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and of course, Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family owned.
The following sports broadcast is a special presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school basketball, featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's high school basketball broadcast is being brought to you by
Miller Honda of Winchester, the Marius Group at Ameriprise Financial, Parsons Ford, Smallwood Small Insurance, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, the Berkeley County Health Department, Luttrell LC Real Estate Attorney, Mike Folk for Governor, W. Harley Miller Systems, Carpet World, Bechtel Jewelers, Hagerstown Ford, the Brown Funeral Homes, WVU Medicine, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
And now, let's go courtside and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team with today's pregame show.
Of this one will have the upper hand at least early on. They'll still have to play one another out at the Gilbert B. Miller Center later in the year, but early on will have maybe the upper hand in getting home court advantage, as that will be determined by the coach's vote later in the year.
Yeah, and looking at the way both of these teams can draw a crowd, I think that you look at it and it is going to be very good home court advantage. If this team, whichever team gets it. So I think that these games become very, very important for seeding. You can have a strong season all you want, but at the end of the day, if you can't beat the team that is right in front of you, or if you lose the team right behind you, then it becomes an issue when you look at home court advantage.
So the two teams have taken to the floor, getting into their warm-ups as we get ready for the action this evening. It is Martinsburg hosting Hedgesville. We'll find out what else is going on around the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference and check in on girls action from last night when we come back. Our pregame brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems. They provide custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater networking, audio, video distribution, and more. They're online at WHMsystems.com or give them a call at 304-350-1931. A 60-second break, and then we return to the Martinsburg Fieldhouse. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
Welcome back into the field house as we get ready for Martinsburg and Hedgesville on this Friday night. It is an all EPAC Friday night, Matt. Let's look at the other matchups, including Musselman at home against Spring Mills. Been a tough go for the Cardinals, who have dropped 7 in a row. They are 3-8, while Musselman has won 3 of their last 4. They're now 6-5.
Yeah, I think Musselman's finally starting to find their groove a little bit, and for Spring Mills, I think you're seeing what is a young and inexperienced team finally starting, or I shouldn't say finally starting, starting to show the struggles that people kind of expected them to have going in this year. I know head coach Luke Samples, we had a chance to talk to him last week prior to the Martinsburg Spring Mills game, and is still trying to figure out the culture, I believe is the word he used, of this basketball team, or of his basketball team, and just trying to figure out the pieces that didn't need to be there. He wanted guys that were going to play Spring Mills basketball, and again, a lot of kids didn't know what that meant with the first year of Luke Samples, and I think he's trying to establish what it means to be a Spring Mills Cardinal, and was getting rid of some pieces that did not want to buy into the program, and a lot of young players playing. So while the record isn't looking very strong this year, and probably not going to be a state tournament run for them this year, I think that it's going to pay dividends over the next couple of years with the young players that are going to get a lot of valuable experience this year against, again, we talked about it in the first segment, a very good region this year.
Meanwhile, Musselman with a pretty young basketball team, but they have played well. Gave Martinsburg a tough game here earlier in the season, and against this very good Hedgesville team, suffered just a 7-point setback at 43-36. We'll see if they can keep things going in the right direction, and certainly have a chance to make some noise come postseason. That is a sectional matchup, even as ours is a sectional matchup. Meanwhile, over in the other section, it's Washington at Jefferson. That's an interesting game. We've seen Washington. They right now are 3-5 and have dropped 2 in a row, while Jefferson has won back-to-back games. They're 7-5.
Yeah, we have not seen Jefferson yet. We're supposed to see them. Now it's going to be 2 games in late February. But the one thing that I will say about Washington is that if you cannot match up down low, that is a team that can take advantage of some size down low. Martinsburg struggled with that in their game in Charlestown just a few weeks back. So I think if Jefferson does not have the size down low to match up with a couple of big guys for the Patriots of Washington, that it's going to be a tough game for Jefferson to win. But both teams coming in winners of 2 in a row, and that is going to go a long way in figuring out who may be out of that section trying to fight for a regional battle.
All right, that's what's going on tonight in boys action. The same programs met last night on the girls' side, and it was Martinsburg defeating Hedgesville 54-33. The Lady Bulldogs are now 10-2 and winners of 9 consecutive games.
Yeah, and not a surprise in that one, I don't think, to many people. Martinsburg really starting to hit their stride offensively. Talking with Kyle Triggs throughout the year, the head coach for the Martinsburg Lady Bulldogs, he has said the defense has been there all year. We've seen the stats to prove the defense has been there for the better part of this season. He's just been waiting for that offense to catch up, and I think they have started to really hit their stride over the last couple of games. We saw a very good outing last week when they took on Spring Mills. And you look at Hedgesville, and we had a chance yesterday to talk on Miller Time with Doug Arndt, their first-year head coach, and he said they're young. This is a team that he's still trying to feel out, being the first-year head coach, and trying to figure out what is going to make them click. And now 4-10, I believe, is their record at this point in the season, and it's going to be growing pains for them.
All right, last night it was Musselman getting the win over Spring Mills in girls action, 48-28. The Spring Mills girls have now dropped, 5 in a row. They are 3-10, while Musselman with the victory, 10 wins and 4 losses. Musselman competing with Martinsburg to see who could be the top team in the section, and competing to be one of the top teams in the region. How about Jefferson? They have now won 5 in a row. They are 9-6 after a victory at Washington yesterday, 44-26.
Yeah, and I think Jefferson is already kind of clinching up that they're going to be the team to beat out of that section, and it's going to be a tough team to beat when you get to the regional round of the playoffs as well. I don't see Hampshire or Washington being able to keep up. We've seen Hampshire and Washington not be able to keep up with them this year. So right now, I think it is Jefferson's section to lose at this point.
There you go. That is our check of the area's schedule, part of our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. We got to take another 60-second break. We heard from Kelly Church, head coach of Hedgesville, during Miller time between 5 and 6. We'll hear from Martinsburg head coach Dave Rogers after this timeout. It is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Carpet World is more than just carpet. Carpet World specializes in a complete selection of hardwood floors by respected names like Armstrong, Bruce, Shaw, and Mohawk, and tile by Dowell Tile, American Oleum, and Mannington for all rooms in your home. And Carpet World can update your bathroom shower with very attractive ceramic tile walls and floor. Financing with up to 12 months deferred interest is available, along with experienced quality installation at Carpet World, 2330 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. CarpetWorldofMartinsburg.com. Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
We welcome you back once again here at the Martinsburg Fieldhouse. Nice gesture as the teams are getting together, posing for a photo at midcourt as they all, in their own team colors, wear the Stronger Than Cancer shirts that have Team Taylor on the back. If you missed it right at the end of Miller time, Taylor Schweinbraten, former student here at Martinsburg, a cheerleader at Shepherd University, finding out that she had a rare form of bone cancer back during the football season last year. She continues to go through that battle, and tonight a very special night here with some fundraising efforts and obviously some recognition efforts going on as well, and great to see both teams involved.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it just goes to show you that while these teams want to do everything they can to beat one another in the game tonight, there are things that are bigger than basketball. There are things that are bigger than sports as a whole. So yeah, I think a good gesture, and hats off to Hedgesville for they didn't have to do that. Again, this is a Martinsburg connection, a Shepherd connection, but it's an Eastern Panhandle connection. So I think that's also a good gesture with the blue and gold, making the Stronger Than Cancer shirts as well for tonight's game.
All right, let's turn our attention back to what will take place here in just about 8 to 10 minutes, and that is the matchup between these two very good teams. We caught up earlier with Bulldogs head coach Dave Rogers and asked him not only about this matchup, but first about his team's big win at Morgantown on Monday.
Well, I think it was a great win. I tell you what, I watched Morgantown beat University High. University High, of course, was Metro Power Index #1 at the time, and I thought it was a great ball game. I mean, it was Morgantown was down 13, came back and won it by 2. They've got quickness, they got size, they got shooters. We knew it was really going to be tough, but our kids went up there with a great attitude, and I was really, as a coach, anxious to see how we played and how we performed, and they met all those expectations.
I asked you in the pregame, is this a measuring stick type of game? And you said yes. So what does it tell you about where your team is right now?
Well, I think we're in a good spot as long as we continue to play like that. Now, you realize that Morgantown, I don't think, shot the ball very well. But, coming off that big win at University High, now they're playing us. I hope we don't do the same thing, come off a big win at Morgantown, because Hedgesville is very good. So we want that same intensity, that same hustle, that same desire every time you walk on the floor.
Trey Sager got a little banged up in that Morgantown game. Are you back to 100% tonight?
Yeah, we are. And, it's amazing that you can take your starting center out, and I thought Dorn Smith came in, did a wonderful job, and we really didn't sub the second half. So if one guy's not ready, it's time for another one to step up.
Is that a concern, though, as far as, you still haven't maybe been able to develop that depth at the midpoint of the season?
Well, yeah, it is. We think about it, and we talk about it, and we try to work on it every day in practice, and we're just waiting for that 1 or 2 guys to just step up. We see some good things in Jarvis, and so we'll probably see him a little more tonight. And, we think Luke's getting better, and we think Kamarion's getting better. So, we just got to keep pressing them. I just don't want to put them in a situation where they can fail, and a situation where they're not familiar.
Talk to us about the Hedgesville Eagles. Always a fun matchup.
Well, it is, and they're good. They've got 6 seniors and a start of freshmen, and I think they pass the ball well. I think if you leave them open, I think they can shoot the basketball. Hedgesville is Hedgesville, so we have to be ready to be mentally tough, play hard, rebound the ball. We really like to make sure we can pound that glass tonight.
Yeah, how much will the tempo be a key in this one? I know typically when you look at this matchup, they kind of want to slow things down. You guys want to keep it going.
Well, we're not going to change what we do. We're going to constantly push it, and I guess it's whoever gets that upper hand might come out on top, and sometimes pressure makes you speed things up also.
Dave, thanks. Good luck.
Thanks, Matt.
Well, there you hear from Martinsburg head coach Dave Rogers, some of his thoughts heading into tonight's matchup. It's 8-2 Martinsburg hosting 11-2 Hedgesville. A 60-second timeout. We come back for our final segment on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. We'll check in with Matt Crawford and get some keys to the game. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Who should you call when it comes to your real estate legal needs?
This is Chris Luttrell, local real estate attorney with offices in Martinsburg and Charlestown. Let's be direct. Buying or selling your home is a matter not to be taken lightly. At my firm, Luttrell LC, we possess the experience and knowledge to represent you and ensure your most important investment is protected. Give us a call at 304-267-3050, 304-267-3050, because at Luttrell LC, your home is our business.
Hello, I'm Michael Falk, a lifelong resident of West Virginia, husband and father. I worked my way through school and life with honesty, hard work, and determination. These principles have served me well in athletics, education, farming, and aviation, and have carried me through years of fighting for a more accountable government at the local and state level. These same core principles will allow me to serve you well in Charleston. I believe true leadership is sticking your neck out for right, even when it goes against the establishment. You can help me put principle over politics and beat the odds one more time.
We are back one more time here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Find out more at WHMsystems.com, providing custom integration services for home and office automation. It is time now for Keys to the Game. They're a service of Chris Luttrell at Luttrell LC. Let Chris hand you the keys to your new home for all of your real estate legal needs. Call Luttrell LC at 304-267-3050. All right, let's get to it. Which team you want to start with? I'll leave it up to you.
Let's start with the team coming in trying to get the win, and that is Hedgesville on the road tonight. I think for them the key is going to be really at the defensive end of the floor. I think that they have a couple of guys that can size up down low. I think they are going to be able to play better in the half court than Martinsburg is. I think Martinsburg is going to want to run up and down the floor like they always do. So I think that when you look at Hedgesville, their goal needs to be at the defensive end, try to slow down that rush that Martinsburg is going to try to enforce on the offensive end. And when you look at the Martinsburg Bulldogs, it's got to be force Hedgesville to play a game they're not comfortable with. They're going to want to set up in the half court, only averaging about 55 points a game, a little bit over 55 points a game, so they're going to want to slow it down. If Martinsburg can get in that trap defense, if Martinsburg can try to force a lot of turnovers in the backcourt or right around that half court line, which they've done a lot this year so far, then I think it's going to confuse Hedgesville. It's going to make them second-guess their offense, and I can see Martinsburg getting out ahead in this one early.
Yeah, you have certainly hit the nail on the head. When these two teams get together under these two head coaches over the last 22-plus years, well, it's been about tempo. Who can control that? And that typically tells you who might come away with the win. Keys to the game brought to you by Chris Luttrell at Luttrell LC. You can win every time when it comes to your real estate legal needs by calling Luttrell LC at 304-267-3050. Well, it's time now for a look at the starting lineups being introduced to a great crowd on hand here this evening. Lineups a service of D&N Auto Specialist. If your vehicle is not starting properly, start at D&N Auto to get it fixed right the first time. Family owned and operated since 1974. Phone 304-267-4078. Hedgesville's 11-2, led by Kelly Church in his 22nd season. 372 wins, 124 losses, assisted by Chris Ruest. Former Bulldog Kevin Pitsnagel and Kyle Van Meter. For Hedgesville, Ryan Fry, a 6'1 senior, starts at guard. Evan Hosby is a 6-foot senior guard. Javen Wilmer, a 5'10 senior guard. Sheldon Everhart is a 6'3 senior forward/swingman. And Jamison Matthew is a 6'1 senior forward. Now for the Martinsburg Bulldogs, 8-2 on the season, led by head coach Dave Rogers in his 41st year, all-time winningest high school boys basketball coach in the Mountain State, 773 wins, 222 losses. He is assisted by Bruce Fowler, Richard Moore, Chris Berg, and Daryl Smith. For the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Trey Sager is a 6'3 junior forward. Telrin Villa, a 6'3 senior forward. Garrett Stobbs is a 6'1 junior guard. Teddy Marshall is a 6'2 senior guard. And Anthony Smith is a 6'1 junior guard. That is a look at the starting lineups for both of these teams, brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist, where honesty is the best policy. They specialize in exhaust alignments and tires. Call D&N Auto at 304-267-4078. Matt, Martinsburg has won 10 in a row in this series. Hedgesville's last win against the Dogs, part of the 2014 season when they actually won 2 out of 3 against Martinsburg.
And they're hoping to get some of that look back tonight, one of the better teams that Hedgesville's come in with in the last couple of years.
All right, as the Junior ROTC presents the colors and we pause here for the national anthem, we take a 2-minute timeout. On the other side of the break, we've got the opening tip and the play-by-play. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Get the biggest savings of the year at the 2019 Big Finish event going on now at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Martinsburg. How about an all-new Ram 1500 LTD over $10,000 off plus 0% APR? A 2019 Ram HD 3500 over $7,000 off. A 2020 Jeep Compass is only $21,266. The all-new Chrysler Voyager is $27,479 plus 0% APR. And a 2019 Chrysler 300 is only $24,815. Celebrate the 2019 Big Finish with the deepest discounts and lowest APR of the year. No money down, no payments for 90 days. Great selection, great people, and great deals at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 9 at Kelly Island Road, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Online at MillersChryslerJeep.com. Stock numbers 20126, 20017, 19347, 20135, 19232. All payments based on approved credit, taxes, tags, and processing fees extra. See dealer for details.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Just about ready to get this one underway. Hedgesville will head out of their huddle to our left in the yellow gold uniforms with the dark blue lettering and trim. The veil across the front of those jerseys. Eagles across the back nameplate and those numbers on both front and back of the jersey. Martinsburg out on the floor in the white with black lettering, orange trim. Dogs on the front. Notice the pronunciation. It's the
D-A-W-G-S. I love it.
There you
love
go.
it.
They have the blank nameplates on the back, nothing there. They've got the numerals on both the fronts and the backs of the jerseys.
Those Hedgesville uniforms are sharp. I like the kind of checkered pattern on the side. I think those look sharp, and I love yellow uniforms. I don't care what sport it is. I love yellow or gold uniforms.
Sheldon Everhart in the center circle for Hedgesville. Telrin Villa for Martinsburg. 3 officials to work this one. It's time for basketball. The ball is in the air. Villa controls the tip into the backcourt. Anthony Smith has it, and the Bulldogs will shoot at the basket to our left. And as you would expect, let's see, are they going to play a little bit of a matchup defense against Martinsburg? Out top, it's Garrett Stobbs. Pulls the trigger on a 3 and knocks it down. His 15th of the season, and Martinsburg strikes first.
And that's going to be big if Stobbs can get started early. The last couple of games, he's been a little lower percentage than usual from beyond the arc, and if he can get heated up quickly, we know how dangerous he is from beyond the arc.
Martinsburg in that man-to-man. Good help defense by Garrett Stobbs, cutting off a drive by Everhart, and now Wilmer has it on the right sideline to Hoseby between the circles. Started right, works back left, controls that dribble, tightly guarded by Teddy Marshall. Marshall now on a switch-off, picking up Wilmer. Wilmer to the foul line, leans in, floats it up, got it to go. Tough shot. Javen Wilmer was in trouble, but found a way out.
And it was very good defense by Martinsburg. Hedgesville, although was able to run the offense they wanted to run, slow it down, set the offense up, and now Martinsburg going to try a little half court.
Anthony Smith sending to Teddy Marshall on that right wing. Now on the left side of the floor, Sager beyond the arc. They'll swing it right back around to Marshall. Deep 3, right side, rolls around the rim and out. Sager the rebound in the paint. Martinsburg with another opportunity. Smith has it between the circles. He'll back it out and reset offensively.
And that's what you miss with Trey Sager out for a couple of games. Just not necessarily the size, but the grittiness down low that number 10 brings.
Nice drive. Garrett Stobbs from left to right, but his shot a little too strong, and it was Jamison Matthew with the Hedgesville rebound. Everhart into the front court, passing in the lane, intended for Matthew. Stolen by Teddy Marshall. Marshall going coast to coast and lays it off the glass.
Great read by Teddy on the defensive end, and then great job going coast to coast, showing the athleticism, really gliding once he got inside that three-point arc and landed off the glass.
Wilmer on that far sideline, and to look down at his feet, he almost stepped out of bounds as he hauled in that pass. Jamison Matthew pops out to take it, tightly guarded by Trey Sager.
And the refs are letting him play right now, Matt. Some jersey tugs, a little bit of hook, but the refs are letting him play. They know this matchup.
Oh, nice drive down the right side of the lane by Javen Wilmer. Draws contact and kisses it in high off the glass. That foul is on the Bulldogs' Trey Sager. It'll be his first, and going to the line to try to complete the three-point play. Here's Javen Wilmer. Wilmer has all 4 points so far for Hedgesville. He's a 64% foul shooter, 18 of 28, puts this one up and rattles it in. It's a 5-5 game. We have our first tie of the night.
And Wilmer came in averaging about 11.6 a game, and right now all 5 for the Eagles, well on his way to breaking that pace of just over 11 a game.
Telrin Villa on that wing right side. Started to drive, had to pass it off to Teddy Marshall. Marshall down into that right corner. Gives back out on the wing to Smith. Smith driving into the lane, feeds the cutter down the left baseline, and Trey Sager takes the pass and banks it in. 7-5 Martinsburg. That's what Anthony Smith does so well, Matt.
The drive and kick out, the no-look pass is really his specialty, and Trey Sager knew that was coming. That's the camaraderie you were hoping to have at this point in the season.
Hosby from the left side drops in a three, his 14th of the year. Evan Hosby gives Hedgesville the lead, 8-7. Good early start for both of these teams.
Yeah, Matt, this gym is electric right now. Both teams hitting a couple of early threes and playing really well other than that on the defensive end. Here's Teddy Marshall.
And he drains the three from the left wing. His 18th of the season, and the back and forth battle continues with now Martinsburg in front 10-8.
Two teams with only 2 losses each this season. It's what you expected in this matchup.
Everhart with a strong drive on the angle right side, fouled in the act of shooting. His shot comes a little strong off the glass in the rim. That foul goes on Telrin Villa. It'll be his first and the team's second. And hang on, are they going to call the foul on the floor, so not in the act of shooting? So the foul occurred before the shot attempt, and Wilmer triggers the inbounds baseline right side. Looking, gets it into Everhart.
Oh, Trey Sager turns around right there. I think he makes that interception right on the sideline like a wide receiver.
Wilmer moving to his left, gets into the lane. 2 Bulldogs go in the air. Wilmer lets them land and then puts up the shot off the mark. Matthew the rebound. His putback didn't go. And this time the other way, it's Martinsburg. Teddy Marshall off the dribble from the left wing. Long three off the mark. Rebound actually bounced off the floor before Osby grabbed it. He's going to go coast to coast in the lane, moving from left to right. Oh, hits the deck hard after contact. His shot rolled around the rim and out. 2 free throws are coming as that foul goes on Martinsburg's number 12, Telrin Villa, and the Bulldog leading scorer, who averages 21.8 a game, has 2 very early fouls.
Yeah, not only that high average, about 21.8 a game, but coming off of a fantastic game on Monday at Morgantown. He can't afford to be in early foul trouble.
Hosby is a 67% foul shooter. That's 31 of 46 coming in. He puts this one up and through. Hedgesville within a point at 10-9. And as Villa sits down in foul trouble, Dorn Smith, the 6'3 junior forward for the Dogs, comes in. He's averaging just under 9 a game. And Matt, he had a really good effort up at Morgantown as well with 14. Hosby gets them both. He's got 5 early points. Our second tie of this opening quarter, 10 apiece. Halfway through quarter number 1. Smith into the front court, controlling that dribble. That one to Marshall, down to Smith, back to Marshall, to Garrett Stobbs on the left side, poked away from behind. Anthony Smith runs it down and then gets bumped as he was getting a pass off to Stobbs, and that foul goes on Ryan Fry, the 6'1 Hedgesville senior guard.
And Martinsburg, you can tell, does not want to have to go down low. Trey Sager has had a good game so far down low, but everybody around the perimeter, or at least foul line extended that last offensive set, and looking pretty similar right now, though. You see Trey Sager on that low block.
The Dogs inbound, working around the perimeter on the left wing. It's Garrett Stobbs firing the three. It rolls around the rim and out and back the other way. Hedgesville, pass from Everhart through the hands of Fry and into the Martinsburg bench. It's out of bounds, an Eagle turnover. That one, he just didn't look in. Went right through the hands, and Martinsburg will inbound. Dorn Smith giving to Anthony Smith. 3:15 and counting in quarter number 1. We are tied at 10 in this matchup of 2 teams who come in riding 5-game winning streaks. Garrett Stobbs on that left wing, giving back to Anthony Smith on the right side of the floor. To Marshall in the left corner, and as he starts to drive, he's bumped and fouled. That is Jamison Matthew committing that personal. And there's the ball fake from Teddy Marshall that got Jamison Matthew in the air and forced that foul.
Yeah, it's a good ball fake, but I thought Matthew did a very good job of also getting back down to the floor quickly and moving his feet, but just about a half step behind the quickness of Teddy Marshall. Again, Marshall has one of the best first steps you're going to see on this floor, really, across the entire region. He showed that against Jamison Matthew down low.
So the Dogs inbound. They go to Anthony Smith on that right wing, passing back on the left side of the floor to Marshall. His three-pointer rims out, no good. Trey Sager battling for the rebound, and it's tapped out of bounds by Evan Hosby. It'll stay with Martinsburg. A golden opportunity for the Bulldogs. Third time's a charm, hopefully for them, as they will get another chance to try to score. Garrett Stobbs in that left corner. Bounces out top to Marshall. Marshall guarded there by Wilmer. Wants Garrett Stobbs to come out on the left wing as he sends a pass on the right side of the floor to Anthony Smith. Smith into the lane, floats it up with the right hand, and that short shot is good for Smith.
Great drive by Smith, and when Smith has the ability to pass like he does, those little floaters just inside the foul line, the defense is going to freeze for a moment because they're also expecting, okay, where could he possibly be passing? Am I missing somebody? But a great floater.
Oh, what a pass from Everhart on a backdoor cut to Ryan Fry, but his short shot rattles around and out, and Martinsburg's the other way. Trey Sager, a three from the left side. It's no good. Great job as Stobbs kept it alive. Anthony Smith now has it, and he'll fire a three from the right side. Counted, I believe, for Anthony Smith, and we've got a foul underneath. Hang on.
Yeah, it's away from the basketball. Not sure they're going to get it on, but Dorn Smith hit the deck, so that's going to be, it should be the three and the foul away from the basketball.
All right, it does look like they will count the basket. The foul then goes on number 2-2. That'll be Jamison Matthew. He'll pick up his second. So the Bulldogs not only get the bucket, but will also get the basketball.
Yeah, Matthew and Dorn Smith just fighting for positioning down low right underneath the basket. And you saw Dorn Smith, number 11, just hit the deck right as that shot was going through. Good call by our underneath official.
Head coach Kelly Church wants the official to explain how both the bucket counts and Martinsburg gets the basketball.
Because the ball was in the air already.
Yep, and here we go as Garrett Stobbs triggers that inbounds to Dorn Smith. Left side, 17-footer, too strong. Backside rebound, Trey Sager. He puts it up and in. Counted, and there is a foul. Three-point opportunity for Sager as that personal goes on Evan Hosby. That'll be his first, team foul number 4. Matt, during Miller time, we heard from Kelly Church, and he commented about his team needing to team rebound, and if they didn't, it could be a long night. Martinsburg's had many offensive chances. Free throw up and good for Sager, a 50% foul shooter, 3 of 6 coming in. Don't look now, Martinsburg's on an 8-0 run, and they've got an 18-10 lead.
Yeah, it's been a quick 8-0 run, and in that run, it really hasn't been a whole lot of opportunities for Hedgesville.
Wilmer with a nice drive down the right side of the lane. His shot, though, off the backboard of the rim. Rebound to the Dogs. Sager got it to Marshall. To the rim. Underhand layup good for Teddy Marshall. And Martinsburg on a 10-0 run has taken a 20-10 lead, and that'll lead to a timeout for Hedgesville head coach Kelly Church. Looks like it'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll take the 30-second break as well. 1:38 to play in quarter number 1. Martinsburg up by 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We were tied at 5, we were tied at 10, but since that 10 all-time, Martinsburg has gone on a 10-0 run. Matt, they've done it with offensive rebounding and then quickness getting up and down the floor.
Yeah, and it's been Hedgesville offensively. They haven't had too many offensive opportunities, especially with that 3 followed by the foul. That allowed two quick possessions and 5 quick points, but they're trying to pull a little Martinsburg here and driving quickly to the basket. Great take on the left side, up and good by Sheldon Everhart.
Yeah, Everhart with that quick first step, got by the defender, no help defense, and he went right to the rim. Strong drive, 20-12. The Martinsburg advantage, and now a lob pass in the lane. Teddy Marshall throws it away, stolen by Hosby. He'll go coast to coast. Shot didn't go, but it's tipped up and in. That's Kobe Bowen who has checked into the lineup, and Bowen gets the rebound in the putback basket. 20-14, just like that. A couple of scores for Hedgesville. With under a minute to play in quarter number 1, key possession for Martinsburg. Sager beyond the arc, right side, passing low post to Dorn Smith, but off his hand and out of bounds. A couple of Bulldog turnovers.
Yeah, back-to-back possessions that have been a turnover.
Everhart going to work it into the front court on the dribble. 6'3" senior handles it well, gives it off to Wilmer, right back to Everhart. Sager guarding him. He'll pull up, very long three off the rim of the backboard. Anthony Smith the rebound. Smith up that far sideline, 33 seconds and counting in the opening quarter. Smith all the way to the rim, and a push foul as he was dumping a pass off to Trey Sager. That'll go on the Eagles. Let's see who. That will be number 3, Elijah King, the 6-foot freshman guard, seeing his first action.
Yeah, and talking with head coach Kelly Church of Hedgesville, he had said that in the last couple of games he had played some freshmen. So not surprised we're seeing freshmen early in this ball game.
Anthony Smith dribbling from left to right, gets into the lane. Nobody stops him. He goes right to the basket and again lays it in off the glass. 7 points for Anthony Smith in the opening quarter.
And started on that left side, worked around the paint and just finished to the right. Nobody stopped him, and good defense at the other end.
Yeah, Wilmer started to his right, then spun back to his left. The ball got taken away by Anthony Smith. We then had a whistle, and the official was going to make the call on Javen Wilmer. So it'll be after the turnover. Wilmer did not like it. It'll belong to the Bulldogs.
And if I have that right, is that now 6 team fouls here in the first quarter on the Eagles?
Yes, it is. And now our officials.
Did I hear technical foul? I may not have. I could be wrong. I thought I heard technical from somewhere.
Okay, so hang on. What do we got? So apparently there was a double foul there. That's what the situation is. Anthony Smith was called with the personal, and then Javen Wilmer was called with a technical, I guess, for his response following the initial call. So Wilmer steps to the line. 64% foul shooter puts it through. Another opportunity is coming for him. That shot is up and good. Now we'll go to the other end, and it'll be Teddy Marshall who will shoot the technical free throws for Martinsburg. Well, we've had a lot already in this opening quarter.
Hey, don't look down for a few seconds. You're going to miss an awful lot in this ball game.
Teddy Marshall is a 73% foul shooter for the Dogs, 29 of 40. His free throw up and good. Both teams off to a hot start shooting foul shots. Second free throw for Marshall. It is up and it is good. And the Bulldog lead is at 24-16, and Martinsburg has the ball and a chance to add to the lead with 12.8 seconds to play in quarter number 1.
And this is a big possession for Martinsburg. If they can take a 10 or 11 point lead into the break after the first quarter, that is really going to put them in the right direction momentum-wise, I believe. Still have controlled this first quarter, but a double-digit lead, I think, says a lot in this ball game.
Teddy Marshall, deep right wing three, off the back of the rim, battle for the rebound. It's controlled by Elijah King. The horn sounds, and quarter number 1 is in the books. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. After 1.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Hard to believe that it's been 4 years these guys have been playing. They have been impressive. Everhart with another strong drive along the right side, but got into some trouble underneath. Passing it away, has it stolen. Teddy Marshall into the front court to Anthony Smith. Down low, Dorn Smith puts it up from the right low. Block shot wouldn't go. Sager tipped it, came off the rim. Back the other way, it's Osby with it. Osby, nice pass to Wilmer, who takes it to the basket and lays it up and in.
Yeah, Osby didn't have full control of the basketball. Somehow was able to direct it the way he wanted to, and a finish at the rim, a wide open layup opportunity for Wilmer.
And great hustle by Wilmer, flying down the floor. From the angle left side, Teddy Marshall with another three. Hits off the mark, no good. Sheldon Everhart the rebound, going to bring it into the front court himself. Everhart spinning into the lane, banks it up. Oh, but it will not count. It's an offensive foul as Garrett Stobbs was able to hold his ground and draw the charge.
And what have we said about Garrett Stobbs the last couple of games? At least I've been amazed with what he's been able to do, transitioning his game to being a guy that can go down low. Beginning of the season, looking back to last year when he was getting split time, he was a guy that you would only see around the perimeter. The last couple of games, it really started in the game in Charlestown against Washington. It's really been dynamic and playing not only around the perimeter, but very well down low at the defensive and offensive end of the court.
Dorn Smith, right side beyond the arc, gives it off to a cutter in the lane. That's Teddy Marshall, had a shot blocked by Bowen. Back the other way, Hedgesville, Everhart down the lane to the basket. Shot block, foul called. It'll go on the Bulldogs. Dorn Smith. And I tell you what, Hedgesville's gotten into that Martinsburg game plan, right?
Yeah, they're pushing it. Yeah, they're pushing it into the offensive end, and they've been able to do that because they have numbers. Yep. If Martinsburg can get back in transition defense, they're going to force Hedgesville to slow down or take a bad shot. We just saw Everhart try to drive baseline and threw it right into the hands of Teddy Marshall. But right now, it's been Hedgesville pushing it offensively and having the numbers in the first 2 minutes of the second quarter.
Yeah, right now a 10-4 run for Hedgesville. And make it an 11-4 run as Everhart puts the free throw up and through. You don't want to foul him. 80% from the line, 20 at 25 coming in.
And make that now 21 of 26. So that's going to spike a bit above 80%. See if he can connect on the second one.
He does, and he's got 6 points in this first half. And the Martinsburg lead has been cut to 2, 24-22.
Hey, basketball's a game of runs, and we've seen one from each so far.
That we have.
See if Hedgesville's run stops here with Martinsburg defense, whether that run keeps going. Martinsburg run was a 10-0 run back in that first quarter. Hedgesville trying to duplicate.
And remember, Martinsburg playing right now without their top scorer, Telrin Villa, out in foul trouble. Nice pass, low post left side to Dorn Smith. How did he get that to go? As he went up between two defenders, that went high in the air and down through the net.
Yeah, that almost hit the top of the backboard. I'm not sure Dorn Smith's going to want to put money on that shot a lot of times.
Wilmer with a deep three from the left side as it come off the rim. Trey Sager another rebound. Sager 5 points and a number of rebounds in the early going.
And you look and see what just happened there with Hedgesville. They were forced to slow it down, and there was a bad shot put up by Wilmer, a forced three, and that's what Martinsburg needs to do defensively. Get back on defense, but a turnover here.
Yeah, Dorn Smith trying to pass to Teddy Marshall on the left sideline, and that pass stolen. It'll be Everhart into the front court to Wilmer right in front of the Bulldog bench. He'll hand it back to Everhart, three on the way. Off the rim in the backboard. Stops the rebound. Bulldog ball into the front court. Anthony Smith into the lane. Floats it up with a right hand, and the shot is good. He's got 9 points. 28-22 Martinsburg. Another nice drive for Anthony Smith. Went in with the left hand, but went to the right hand for that floating shot. Everhart into the lane. Banks it up a little too strong. Bowen tips. Wouldn't go. Bowen's got it back. He'll put it up and in. Kobe Bowen. A couple of offensive rebounds and the putback basket.
Yeah, Bowen has been a difference maker down low since coming off the bench in this game. He's got 4, but the difference really has been made with that size down low, getting second chance points.
Maddie's a 6'6 senior that averages 3.8 a game. He's already there. Driving down the right side of the lane, Anthony Smith put it up too strong, but Trey Sager, the backside rebound and put back.
And right there you see Bowen make a mistake. That 6'6 senior not making a senior mistake. That was more like a freshman mistake, trying to block that ball that was easily going to go over his fingertips, allowing an easy offensive rebound and put back for Trey Sager.
So the dog lead is at 6, 30-24. We're halfway through quarter number 2. Hosby with it on the near side, giving it off to Fry. Passing on that left wing to Everhart, almost threw it right past him. Everhart into the lane. He floats it with the right hand off the right side of the rim, and Trey Sager another rebound.
And it's funny, Matt, we talked about in the pregame Hedgesville wanting to play in the half court. Right now, their success has been when they've been able to get and stretch their legs and get out into transition quickly. Right now in the half court, Martinsburg is beating them on defense.
Teddy Marshall with the ball on the right side of the floor, dribbling around the perimeter to his left. Gives back on that right wing to Garrett Stobbs. Pulls up off the dribble. 10-foot shot off the front of the iron, but Dorn Smith had position, and he tips it up and in. 32-24. The Bulldogs push that lead back out to 8. Hosby out top, little hesitation move, splits 2 defenders, takes it to the rim and lays it in. Evan Hosby has 7.
Yeah, and very strong take. There was some contact and looked like the ball got tied up for a brief moment, but Hosby just used that strength of the 6'1" senior frame down low.
Traveling violation on Anthony Smith, 5 Bulldog turnovers. Each team right around 5 turnovers in this first half. A 6-point Martinsburg lead, Hedgesville basketball. The Dogs with a 10-0 run in quarter number 1. From the end of that first into the second quarter, a 12-4 run for Hedgesville, helping to get them right back in it. Everhart guarded by Dorn Smith. Telrin Villa still on the bench for the Bulldogs with 2 early fouls. Javen Wilmer has it out top, faking left, goes right, but got into the lane and had the ball stripped, taken away by Anthony Smith. Ahead to Teddy Marshall. Marshall, right side jumper, blocked from behind by Bowen, but pulled in by Sager, and his shot is good.
And that's just the case for Trey Sager being in the right place at the right time. Couldn't have anticipated that ball would have ended up there, but in right positioning for a missed shot and a second chance opportunity, and he ended up being in the right spot.
Hosby with a nice drive, fouled as he went up. Garrett Stobbs, who successfully drew a charge earlier, was late in getting there, still moving.
That foul going to go on Trey Sager.
Wow.
Actually, it was the brunt of the contact was made by Garrett Stobbs.
Yeah.
I was with you. I was assuming that it was going to go on Stobbs, but I think they're going to get contact beforehand on Trey Sager.
So Hosby, a 67% foul shooter and already 2 for 2 from the line, makes the first one of 2 here.
Jameson Matthew coming back into the game with 2 fouls. Coming out of the game is Elijah King, and we have yet to see, or now Telrin Villa also back into the game. He's got 2 fouls.
Got to be careful with 2:04 to play in this first half. Hosby makes both foul shots. 34-28, Martinsburg out in front. And let's see, do we have a timeout?
It was a timeout, but Jameson Matthew coming out quickly.
Apparently a timeout for Martinsburg. 30-second timeout. We'll take the 30-second break. 2:04 to play in the first half, and Martinsburg up by 6.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
So don't forget, as we wrap up here this evening, 9 o'clock will be the start time for basketball Friday nights in West Virginia. Find out what is going on around the Mountain State in both boys and girls hoops action.
And they must let anybody onto that show because they got you scheduled for 9:20.
I was going to say, this game has to end in time for me to make that call. Nice drive into the lane. Anthony Smith beating Telrin Villa, but off his hand, saved it from going out of bounds, but into the hands of Hosby. Hosby quickly down the floor, and we'll have a foul before he got to the rim. Let's see if they'll give him the free throws or not. That personal going on Teddy Marshall. That'll be his first, and yeah, it will be. That was a possible end-one opportunity as Hosby still got that one up to the rim.
It was, and Garrett Stobbs has lucked out the last 2 fouls. He has been in the vicinity and could have very easily picked up his second foul right there. Still none on the game's first foul shot for Hosby, up and good. He's now 5 for 5 to start this game from the free throw line.
How about Hedgesville, 10 for 10 from the line, normally a 62% foul shooting team. Foul shot up, and it is good. Hosby keeping that hot streak going from the line, and just like that, Martinsburg's lead cut back down to 4. Anthony Smith into the front court, had the basketball poked away. It's still loose. Diving in there after it is Nakeem Romans, and Romans able to get his hands on it and help to tie it up, but the possession arrow leaves it with Martinsburg. Dogs catch a break.
Yeah, Kelly Church trying to call a timeout from the sideline, but don't think Hedgesville ever truly had possession of the basketball.
Staubs looking, lobs deep on that right side on the inbounds to Anthony Smith. Head coach Dave Rogers and assistant Bruce Fowler both hollering some instructions from the other end of the gym. A minute and a half left in our first half. Teddy Marshall sending to Telrin Villa in the left corner. Guarded there by Bowens. Put it on the floor with one dribble. Gets left of the paint to Garrett Staubs. Staubs had his shot partially blocked against some contact. No foul called. Back the other way, Hedgesville after the rebound for Romans. Javen Wilmer in the front court. Moving to his left, now comes back to his right. Gives it off to Hosby down the right side of the lane. He makes contact, and there is a foul and count the bucket for Hosby. And that foul will go on Martinsburg's 21, Anthony Smith, and that'll be his second. That's one of those that I've always struggled with in the game of basketball. That was clearly the offensive player instigating that contact.
Yeah, you saw driving down the right side, using that off arm, really off shoulder as Hosby connects on the foul shot. But you saw him drive that right side and use that left shoulder to kind of bump Anthony Smith. And you saw the head of Anthony Smith jerk back. So I'm with you. I think that could have gone either way.
34-33, the Bulldog lead is at 1. Under a minute to play in our first half. A trap along the near side. Anthony Smith gets it to Marshall on that right wing. To Villa in the corner. He'll work to Staubs at the high post. Nice feed down low to Dorn Smith. Layup good.
Great pass by Garrett Staubs. Didn't even fully come down as that pass was high, and on his way down, a quick, sharp, what looked like a flip from the shortstop to second base down low.
Javen Wilmer on that left side, giving to Romans, moving to his right at the top of the key, gives back to Wilmer on the left side of the floor. Again to Romans out top, driving into the lane, a whistle and a foul. That might be number 3 on Telrin Villa. Let's wait and see. Foul, Martinsburg, 1, 2. Telrin Villa has picked up his third personal, not what head coach Dave Rogers was hoping for, and now Jarvis Thurston comes in as Villa sits down. Matt, 0 points in the first half and 3 fouls.
Yeah, and he was a day late and $1 short on that reaction, putting him about a half step behind, trying to play defense, and it was a good cut by Roman.
Romans just 2 of 8 from the line, misses this one. Jarvis Thurston the rebound.
First foul shot that Hedgesville's missed the entire first half.
There you go, and Martinsburg will hold for the final shot with a 3-point lead, 36-33. Anthony Smith on the wing left side, dribbling into the lane, passing on the right side, stolen by Everhart, and a 3/4 court shot sails over the backboard as the horn sounds. And we go into the locker room at the half with Martinsburg leading by 3. A 1-minute timeout, and then we return to the field house where your score is Martinsburg 36, Hedgesville 33.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
We welcome you back in just in time to see Gerard Bowie receiving the WV Metro News High School Football Player of the Year honor. Congratulations to the Bulldog wide receiver and specialty specialist.
I was going to say he probably could have won it for what he did returning punts last year alone. That was as dynamic as I think this state has ever seen returning punts.
Punts and kicks. He did it receiving. He did it in every way. certainly a deserving honor. Congratulations to Gerard Bowie. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Back at the studio, Eric Sterick, our engineer, John Alderton running our TV 10 and camera. What a first half. Our halftime brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution. They're at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Matt, we break down the scoring. Martinsburg took a 3-0 lead, opened up a lead of 5-2. Hedgesville able to tie it at 5. The Bulldogs went out in front 7-5. Hedgesville took their first lead at 8-7. Dogs went in front 10-8. Hedgesville tied at 10-all. Our second of 2 ties in that opening quarter, but then the Dogs go on a 10-0 run, take a 20-10 lead, and at the end of one, led 24-16, but Hedgesville answered with a 12-4 run of their own, cut it right back down to 2 at 24-22. As Martinsburg would stretch that lead back out again, Hedgesville would consistently cut it right back down, and here we are at the half. Martinsburg leading by 3.
Yeah, it was a 17-12 scoring advantage in that second quarter for the Eagles, and really Evan Hoseby having a better day than he's had on average all season long. Came in as the 6-foot senior, averaging 13.2 a game. He's already got 14 in the first half. We'll talk some more individual numbers later, but really it was a tale of 2 quarters, and it started with a great run to start the second quarter for Hedgesville. I think that's really when they started to, I don't want to say climb back into the game, because it was 10-10 at one point in the first quarter, but I really think the way they were able to make adjustments in between that first and second quarter and come out and have that strong run they did to start the second quarter is what has made this game so close. And Martinsburg, I think, settling for some shots in that second quarter as well, and Hedgesville doing a very good job really playing Martinsburg's game in that second quarter, getting up and down the floor very quickly when they had numbers in transition.
Yeah, absolutely, and they got to the rim. Evan Hoseby and Sheldon Everhart both a great job in the paint, finding their way to the rim, and Hoseby finding his way to the foul line. How about 7 for 7 from the line for Hoseby, and 12 of 13 for the Eagles as a whole. Martinsburg, meanwhile, only got to the line 3 times, although they did make all 3 free throws. We are at the intermission, and Martinsburg has the lead 36-33. The Velocity Dance team now on the floor, entertaining the crowd on hand, and a very good crowd watching what has been a very good first half. We'll find out what's going on elsewhere around the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference when we come back on the Smallwood Small Insurance halftime show. At the intermission, it is Martinsburg 36, Hedgesville 33.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering a quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I am beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
And we are back again here at the field house, quickly looking at what is going on around the EPAC first in boys action. Spring Mills at Musselman tonight. Only score we've gotten reported so far, 14-12. Spring Mills was leading Musselman after one, waiting for a halftime score from that game. Washington is at Jefferson, and we have not gotten any reported score from that matchup. In girls play yesterday, it was the same matchups, and Martinsburg made it 9 straight wins, defeating Hedgesville 54-33. Musselman knocked off Spring Mills 48-28, and Jefferson topped Washington 44-26. Also, we should tell you yesterday in freshman boys basketball, Martinsburg scored a 61-33 win over Hedgesville, snapping a 3-game slide as the freshman Bulldogs are now 5-3. And in JV action earlier this evening, Martinsburg, well, they've been coming from behind but didn't have to in this one. They led by 10 at the half and went on for the 58-41 victory as the JV boys for Martinsburg, after their season opening loss, have won 6 in a row and are now 6-1. All right, let's take another 1-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll run the numbers from the first half and get you into our second half of action as we wrap up the Smallwood Small Insurance halftime show. Your total insurance solution is Smallwood Small. They're at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Phone 304-263-3361. A 1-minute break at the intermission. Martinsburg leading Hedgesville 36-33.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
It is time for us to take a look at the first half stats. They're brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Find out more online at folk4wv.com. Paid for by Michael Folk for Governor. Matt, individual numbers.
Let's start with the Hound Puppies. 9 points for Trey Sager after 5 in the first quarter. Dorn Smith had 4 in the second quarter. That's all he had in that first half. A good contributions by him off the bench. 5 points for Garrett Stobbs. The first points of the game was a 3 by Stobbs in the left corner. He's got 5 after adding a basket in that second quarter. 9 points for Teddy Marshall, all of that in that first quarter, and 9 points for Anthony Smith, 7 of that coming in quarter number 1. Going over to the Eagles of Hedgesville. Evan Hoseby has 14 in the first half, and what a first half he had from the line, Matt. How about 7 for 7, so half of his points coming from that charity stripe. 9 points for Javen Wilmer after 7 in the first quarter. He's also perfect from the line, 3 for 3. 6 for Sheldon Everhart. He's 2 for 2 from the line. And looking at Kobe Bowen, he has 2 in each quarter for 4 in the first half. 0 for 1 from the line is Naheem Romans, and that is his only opportunity to score in this one. So looking at both sides, 5 players contributing for Martinsburg, just 4 in the scoring column for Hedgesville.
All right, some team numbers. Martinsburg has knocked down 3 3-pointers to just 1 3-pointer for Hedgesville. That is a reversal of what you normally expect in this matchup. The Dogs 3 for 3 from the line, very good, but not getting to the line a lot compared to Hedgesville. 12 of 13, that's 92% free throw shooting. 7 fouls committed by Hedgesville. I haven't even tallied Martinsburg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fouls for Martinsburg. The Dogs +4 unofficially in rebounding, 15 to 11, but -2 in turnovers, 7 to 5. Hedgesville's done a nice job handling the basketball. See if the Bulldogs can turn up a little defensive pressure in this second half. Telrin Villa, 3 fouls. Will start the second half on the bench.
Yeah, you can't start him in this second half. I think that's a good move by Coach Rogers. I think you probably see him in, I would guess, the last minute or 2 of the third quarter, but would not surprise you if you didn't see him in the third quarter. But I think depending on how the game's going, with about a minute or 2 left, you probably see number 12 enter the game. But again, it could be earlier than that, could be later than that. That's why I'm up here, and Coach Rogers is down there.
Dorn Smith, Anthony Smith, Garrett Stobbs, Trey Sager, Teddy Marshall on the floor to start the second half for the Dogs. That's Javen Wilmer going to trigger the inbounds. Evan Hosby, along with Sheldon Everhart, Jamison Matthew, and Ryan Fry, starters back out there for Hedgesville. Hosby giving it off to Wilmer. Deep three, right side. Got it. What a start to the second half as Javen Wilmer drills his 26th three of the season. We have our third tie of the game, 36 all. See what the Dogs can do. Anthony Smith on that wing left side. He penetrates down to the baseline, floats it up, and a very late whistle and an offensive foul called, wave off the basket. Anthony Smith now has his third personal foul.
And that was very close to Jamison Matthew picking up his third personal very early in this second half. And, yeah, late whistle. Both players had hit the ground already. That shot had gone in. I'm not sure I disagree with the call. I disagree with the lateness of the whistle and the lateness of that call.
Yeah, I kind of thought they were just going to let it go. It was incidental contact. Neither player got an advantage and let them play, but the late whistle takes the points off the board. Javen Wilmer giving to Hosby beyond the arc, right side, dribbling to his left, gets to the foul line, stops and pops. It's off the rim, and the rebound to Garrett Stops. Ahead to Teddy Marshall, to Sager on this right wing in front of the Bulldog bench. He gives it right back to Teddy Marshall. Again to Sager in the corner.
Somebody's got to move for Martinsburg. Everybody is standing still other than Teddy Marshall, who had the basketball. There's got to be movement of some sort. Now you see Dorn Smith and Trey Sager starting to move a little bit, but just cross-court passes right now. No movement offensively.
Open three from the right side for Teddy Marshall. Wouldn't go, but he follows and gets his own rebound, but then threw it away on that far side as Ryan Fry was able to get a hand in there and come up with a loose ball down the floor. Hosby driving in on the angle left side. Bumped as he went up for the shot. It rolls around the rim. Count it. And the foul goes on Trey Sager. And Sager now has three.
And that is going to be a big issue for Martinsburg if Trey Sager has to come out of the game right now. No sub coming in for him to the scorer's table, but he has been a difference maker down low for them. 9 points in that first half. It has really been a presence down low defensively.
Sager gets the rebound as Hosby misses a free throw for the first time tonight. 38-36, Hedgesville now with the lead. Stobbs tries to answer, a left corner three, rattles in and out, no good, but Sager there to tip the rebound up and in. Tied at 38. Good start to this second half as Sheldon Everhart dribbles down to the left baseline, splits through a double team, but is shot a little short off the rim and the backboard, or really the backboard and then the rim. Rebound tipped and controlled on the baseline by Anthony Smith. Marshall giving to Smith, back to Marshall on that left wing. Giving to Stobbs in the corner. Gave a fake like he might drive the baseline, and they'll swing it back around the perimeter. Again to Stobbs, left corner three on the way, got it! Garrett Stobbs with his second three of the night, and the Bulldogs regain the lead, 41-38. Get an idea, this could come down to the last possession.
As it should, with two teams coming in winners of 5 straight.
Wilmer around a screen at the top of the key, firing a three, but missed it to the left, and the Dogs the other way. Teddy Marshall goes to Sager at the high post to Dorn Smith, cutting baseline left side, trips, falls, no foul called, ball is loose, and coming out of there with it is Matthew.
And I appreciate the pass by Trey Sager, but if he turns around, as we get another and one opportunity for Evan Hosby driving down the left side.
Yeah, Hosby drawing that contact down the left side of the lane, banks it up and in, and let's see who that one goes on, and that is number 4 on Anthony Smith. Telrin Villa going to have to come back in. This could be a game of attrition for the Bulldogs, who, frankly, Matt, have not been very deep.
And this becomes an issue at the defensive end because when you have Telrin Villa, who has 3 fouls, 4 fouls for Anthony Smith, 3 fouls for Trey Sager, that's when you don't want to play aggressive defense and you allow the guys cutting around you the quick passes and quick drives to go around you. So this will be interesting on the defensive end. Some other guys are going to have to step up defensively for Martinsburg.
Hosby completes that three-point play, and we're tied again at 41. And you know Kelly Church and his coaching staff, they will go right at those guys too, which you should, right? You go right at them, make them play defense without fouling. Good defense for Hedgesville, tipping a pass out of bounds on that far sideline. The Dogs, Garrett Stobbs with the inbounds, gives it out top to Marshall. Goes to Telrin Villa just inside the foul line. His turnaround jumper off the iron, no good. And the rebound to Jamison Matthew.
Telrenvilla makes that shot an awful lot. I think that's the case, not getting a lot of shots up, not a lot of gameplay time tonight so far.
Everhart down the left side of the lane, got to the baseline, his shot rimmed out. Hosby backside rebound, his shot off the mark, and back the other way, Martinsburg. Garrett Stobbs open, right side three, up and good. Stobbs has 3 threes on the night, and boy, he has come up with 2 big ones in this quarter. Martinsburg back in front by 3. Hosby out top, guarded by Sager. Sends on that far side to Bowen, who's checked back in. He'll hand it off to Everhart. Trying to go back to Bowen along that right baseline. Good defense, Dorn Smith able to get a hand in there and tip it away.
And Everhart has shown signs of why he's such a good basketball player, but he's also put himself in some sticky situations in this game. A couple times down low, picking up his dribble or getting trapped down on the baseline, and that time really getting trapped out on that right wing.
Everhart, nice job as he made a fake to his right, went back to his left, underhand scoop shot and air ball. Jamison Matthew rebound and put back. It rolls around the rim and out, and the Dogs come the other way. Teddy Marshall into the front court to Stobbs. Left side 3 on the way. Off the rim, no good. Stobbs goes for his own rebound, and it's out of bounds off of Evan Hosby. As Hosby got there at the last second to knock it away from Stobbs, it'll belong to Martinsburg.
And Stobbs was trying to bust the gym down right there. This place would have gone nuts for the black and orange if he would have connected on that 3.
Stobbs having trouble getting the inbounds to Telrenvilla, knocked away by Hosby and out of bounds on that far sideline. Stobbs again will look to trigger it and hang on. We have an outside official telling head coach Kelly Church that I guess he's going to need to sit down. He was hollering something to the official and or one of the assistants. I think only one person is allowed to be up at a time on the bench. So I think that's what the conversation was about. Hey, somebody's got to sit down. And now we're ready to go again. Teddy Marshall taking the inbounds, passing near side to Dorn Smith, again to Marshall. Stops from the left corner, is 3 on the way. It's off the back rim. Sager tips the rebound, but can't save it from going out of bounds. It'll belong to Hedgesville.
Sager put himself in good position again to get another second chance opportunity. Just could not seem to watch it in. He really has been a difference maker down low today.
He's got to be careful in there with those 3 fouls. He's got 3. Villa's got 3. Smith has 4. Albeit Smith on the bench right now with those 4 fouls. Sheldon Everhart into the front court. Dribbling on the wing left side. Around the screen, set by Bowen. Sending to Matthew and now to Hosby on that right sideline. Back out top to Bowen. On this left wing to Wilmer. Wilmer starting to his right, able to avoid a double team. Gets into the lane, passing it off, intended for Bowen and out of bounds. Apparently last touching Kobe Bowen.
Yeah, Bowen was trying to indicate that it last went off Garrett Stobbs, but he was already cutting to the basket, which is why that pass was well behind him.
3 minutes to play in quarter number 3. 44-41, Martinsburg with a 3-point advantage. Teddy Marshall controlling the dribble against this zone defense. Giving it off to Stobbs. Back again to Teddy Marshall. Marshall with his feet to the left side of that orange M. Steps in, gives a ball fake on the 3 before giving to Dorn Smith along that far sideline. Back out top to Marshall. He'll pull the trigger on a straightaway 3 and got it. Teddy Marshall with his second 3 of the night, his 19th of the season. 47-41, the Dogs open a 6-point lead. Sheldon Everhart in the front court for Hedgesville. Handing it off to Wilmer. Wilmer getting into the lane, spinning to his left. Shot a little short as it came off the backboard in the rim, and the rebound out of bounds belonging to the Bulldogs. Boy, I thought that one may have gone off Telrenvilla. Oh, hang on.
We're going to get a foul down low.
That's what it is. It was Kobe Bowen called with a push. It was the outside official who had the call coming across the floor. So the Dogs into the front court, and we'll have
another foul. That's going to be another one on Bowen.
Yeah, Bowen reaching in, trying to get a hand on a pass that was coming out of the hand of the Bulldogs' Garrett Stobbs. 47-41, 6-point Bulldog lead, and a chance to maybe add to that lead. Stobbs sending the pass into the backcourt to Teddy Marshall. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in our third quarter. Stobbs with it on this right side, avoiding the double team, getting back to Marshall on that left wing. Again to Stobbs on the right side of the floor. Works it right back over to Teddy Marshall. Marshall Into the lane on the dribble, sending to Dorn Smith on that left sideline. Again to Teddy Marshall. Good defense by Hedgesville. Martinsburg trying to be patient. Marshall wide open. Left side three on the way. It's off the rim in the backboard. Telrin Villa tips it in for his first bucket of the night.
Yeah, that's the problem with the trap that far away from the basket. Somebody's going to be open down low, and that's not the person you want to leave wide open at the basket. Telrin Villa is going to knock down a bunch of shots from right there, and is going to be a presence down low.
Everhart at the top of the key. Lost the ball, but it's picked up by Wilmer. Gives it right back to Everhart. Now down low to Jamison Matthew. Oh, shot blocked by Telrin Villa. A whistle and a foul, and that'll be number 4 on Telrin Villa.
Who do you put down low, or do you ride Villa right now? Somebody's got to play with 4 fouls. Or do you go to one of the younger guys and see if Jess Sutherland or if Luke Fowler can give you a few minutes? 1:16 remaining here in quarter number 3.
It's Jamison Fowler.
Jameson Matthew knocks down the first foul shot, his first point of the game. And yeah, with 1:16, this is where you need that depth. The second foul shot rolls around.
Yeah, the shots for Matthew, making one, missing the other, right about where he is, a 58% free throw shooter. And we've got a whistle and a foul on Kobe Bowen, who has quickly now picked up 3 fouls in this third quarter. Telrin Villa comes out as Luke Fowler comes in. 49-42, Martinsburg by 7 with the ball, nearing a minute to play in the third. Teddy Marshall, guarded by Wilmer, controls that dribble. Around a screen set by Dorn Smith, giving to Stobbs on the right wing, back out top to Marshall, almost knocked away and stolen by Javen Wilmer. Got to be careful with that pass. Luke Fowler with it now on that left wing, right back to Marshall. Dorn Smith there to help set the screen. Now rolls down into the paint from just beyond the foul line. Teddy Marshall fires that shot. It wouldn't go. Luke Fowler kept it alive. Got it to Dorn Smith. His shot didn't go. Rebound tipped around. Eventually out of bounds on the near side and off of Hosby. It'll stay with Martinsburg. Bodies hitting the deck.
I don't think anybody had possession of that basketball for a course of about 10 game seconds.
34 seconds remaining in the third. Inbounds to Seger along the near sideline. Gives it to Teddy Marshall, and it looks like Martinsburg will try to hold for the final shot of the quarter. By the way, getting a scoring update. Musselman leading Spring Mills 42-36. End of 3 at Musselman. Stobbs with it on this right wing. Guarded by Everhart. Dribbles back towards that center circle. Now on this right wing, gives to Seger. To Luke Fowler. Fowler back to Seger. Long 3 off the back of the rim, no good. And the rebound to Everhart. And I don't think his shot would have even counted as it went high up into the, what is that thing?
No, I need you to tell everybody what that is.
The partition. Separating the gym.
That's a story for a different time.
49-42. Martinsburg leads by 7. We'll head to quarter number 4 after this 1-minute timeout. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078. Who should you call when it comes to your real estate legal needs?
This is Chris Luttrell, local real estate attorney with offices in Martinsburg and Charlestown. Let's be direct. Buying or selling your home is a matter not to be taken lightly. At my firm, Luttrell LC, we possess the experience and knowledge to represent you and ensure your most important investment is protected. Give us a call at 304-267-3050, 304-267-3050, because at Luttrell LC, your home is our business.
We welcome you back into the Martinsburg Fieldhouse along with Matt Crawford. I'm Matt Miller. John Alderton running our TV 10 camera. It is Eric Sterick back at the studio. We head to quarter number 4 here. And Martinsburg with a 7-point lead, and they have the basketball. And lob pass to get the quarter started deep into the backcourt to get it to Teddy Marshall. Hedgesville really extending that defense. Looks like they're going into a man-to-man right now. Marshall with it on the right wing, guarded by Javen Wilmer. Around the screen, set by Dorn Smith. A little pick and roll, but good defense there by Hedgesville. Trey Sager with it beyond the arc on the left side. Works his way into the paint. I'm not sure if it was a pass or a shot. It hit the rim. Got his own rebound. Couldn't get the shot to go. Then bodies hit the deck as the ball's run down on the near side, deep on the wing by Luke Fowler, and he is fouled as he tries a pass across the paint. Wow.
And Sager hit the ground awfully hard for there to be no contact down low. And you don't see Coach Rogers get on the officials all that often. He immediately sprung to his feet off the bench and wanted to know why there was no foul call.
Naheem Romans commits the personal. And now, hang on, we've got a whistle and I believe a wet spot on the floor in the paint, spotted by our underneath official. And so they'll stop play to try to make sure that they get that cleaned up. As they do, Teddy Marshall grabs a drink from a spectator in the front row. I need some nourishment.
Apparently doesn't like the Gatorade at the end of the bench. Or I guess it was whatever's closer at the moment.
There you go. So the inbounds will come directly in front of the scorer's table. Garrett Stobbs working that inbounds. Gives it in the backcourt to Teddy Marshall. 30 seconds has gone by, neither team scoring so far in our fourth stanza. How about that third quarter? Martinsburg outscores Hedgesville 13-9. Teddy Marshall driving in on the angle right side, putting up that shot, a lot of contact, and there is a foul on the play, and 2 free throws will be coming as that personal foul is going to go on Javen Wilmer. He'll pick up his second, and there's a lot of talking afterwards. The officials eventually stepping in to make sure that it doesn't escalate.
And Teddy Marshall still talking at the foul line.
Teddy Marshall with 12 points, 9 of it came in that opening quarter, including 2 for 2 from the line. Now our lead official coming over to talk with the Martinsburg coaching staff. Now going to go over and talk with Hedgesville head coach Kelly Church.
Again, not singling anybody out, but Teddy Marshall was in the middle of some of that chatter back and forth, and I find it funny that nobody ever walked up and talked to him. There was an official talking to a couple different players from Hedgesville. You talked to both benches. Nobody talked to Teddy Marshall once.
Well, Marshall finally gets the basketball, and his free throw is up and good. 13 on the night for him, and the Bulldog lead stretches to 50-42. Ryan Fry checks back into the lineup for Javen Wilmer. I'm sure Wilmer will get back in pretty quickly. He's a key cog in this Hedgesville offense. 51-42 as Marshall makes both foul shots. The Bulldog advantage, 1 minute gone by here in quarter number 4. Hosby beyond the arc on the left side. Oh, nice ball fake to the right and then went back left and lays it up and in. That's what you call quick. Garrett Stobbs in the right corner. Had an open look for 3, but didn't take it this time.
I think right now you want to chew a little bit of clock off before you get that first shot up.
Luke Fowler staying out there. Cross-court pass stolen by Everhart. He's going to take it to the rim. Good 2-hand slam dunk for Everhart. That's a costly turnover.
See if that's a momentum shift as Everhart hung on the rim a little bit for effect, and he gets that far sideline that belongs to the Hedgesville faithful up and rocking right now, especially that student section.
Teddy Marshall driving baseline left side and used the right hand to float it up and in.
And that's how you quiet that crowd. The crowd on the far sideline in blue and gold that was to their feet immediately sits down following that retaliation.
But it got that Martinsburg student section up, that's for sure. And now with Hedgesville in the offensive end, we got a timeout being taken by head coach Kelly Church, it looks like. Did he call it? No.
No, there's an injury right in front of him.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a cramp, and I believe that's Hosby. Yeah, he was sitting down in front of the bench. I couldn't even see him.
Yeah, you can tell there's a cramp. You can tell that calf on the left leg very, very tight right now.
So it's an injury timeout as opposed to an official timeout for either team. 53-46 Martinsburg. If there is one thing you can say, Hedgesville has been able to keep this game at the pace that they would like. Matt, you hit it in the pregame show. They average about 56 points a game, while Martinsburg goes for 71 a contest. The Dogs are getting nowhere near 71 the way this one's playing out right now.
Yeah, right now Hedgesville playing their tempo, and it hasn't been the tempo that they're used to playing, but they've been able to adjust a little bit in this game and really have been able to play very good in transition, where going into the game you expected them to play more in the half court and want to set it up in the half court, take some time off, take 20, 30, 40 seconds off before they put a shot up. But right now their success is coming in transition.
Now the trainer's still working on the lower legs of Evan Hoseby, and it looks like they went from one leg to the other. So, I mean,
yeah, at some point you got to be able to hop him up and get him off the floor. It's obviously not an injury that is keeping him as he pops up and walks very fine. At some point, that's got to be a, hey, let's get him into the corner of the bench if you're going to massage both legs. Like, I get if a cramp happens. I understand that. Not saying that that doesn't happen in sports, but at some point you got to be able to get the young man off the floor with an injury like that.
Well, he's over to the doorway now, trying to stretch it out as Elijah King checks into the lineup. Javen Wilmer has come back out onto the floor as well. 6:12 to play in this one. It's going to be an exciting 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Wilmer taking the inbounds, guarded by Garrett Stobbs. Around the screen, set by Matthew. Picked up there by Telrin Villa, and back around another screen set by Matthew, and Javen Wilmer gets the lay, and he's got 14 points.
You know, it's a great job by Matthew down low, setting 2 ball screens. And the second one, not necessarily a ball screen, more just a shield with the body on that low block. Looked more like he was boxing out for a rebound than actually setting a screen, but it worked either way.
Teddy Marshall into the lane, spinning to his left, put up the shot. It would not go. The rebound to Jamison Matthew, and as Matthew is trying a pass out, we have a whistle and a foul.
Away from the basketball.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what the foul call will be. Or no, it may have been a timeout. There it was. It was a timeout taken by Sheldon Everhart, seeing Jamison Matthew in trouble, so he calls for the timeout. Let's go ahead and take the 30-second break. 5:39 remaining in this one, and Martinsburg leading 53-48.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Along with Matt Crumbs-Crawford, I'm Matt Miller.
You haven't brought that into basketball season yet, and it was really okay with me.
John Alderton running the TV10 camera. Does he have a nickname yet? We got to come up with something for him. Eric Sterick back at the studio. Hedgesville basketball coming out of their own 30-second timeout to help them maintain the possession. Javen Wilmer on the right side, guarded by Stobbs. Again around the screen, set by Matthews. Stops, pops 3 off the left side of the rim. A little hard and a little wide as well. Trey Sager, the Bulldog rebound.
And settling for a shot, I'm sure that's not what Kelly Church had in mind following that timeout. Again, not able to get into transition where they have been successful on the offensive end.
At the same time, Wilmer's hit 26 of those threes this season. He is their leading three-point shooter. Dorn Smith down low right side takes the feed from Trey Sager, and we've got a whistle and a holding foul before he was able to spin to put the basket in.
That's a smart foul by Ryan Fry.
Oh, the outside official counted that basket. Dorn Smith will get credit for
then never mind. That's not a good foul by Ryan Fry.
And the foul will go on Ryan Fry.
That's a good foul if he doesn't make that basket, because you're hooking him to make sure he doesn't make that basket, and an easy layup. But yeah, that turns into from a good foul to a really out of position. You're not going to want to be in the room when you're watching film for that one kind of foul.
And Dorn Smith, a 53% foul shooter, puts it up and through. He's got 9 points on the night. That's after scoring 14 against Morgantown on Monday. He's risen to the occasion in a couple of big games. 56-48, the Martinsburg advantage, under 5 minutes to play. Wilmer Dribbling to his right, down the right side of the lane. Oh, shot a little too short off the backboard of the rim. Rebound to Villa. Quick outlet to Sager. Sager's layup comes off the rim, and Hoseby grabs the Hedgesville rebound.
Tellerman Villa's got to watch out. He came flying in and left his feet. Almost got called for a 5th foul.
Nice job by King penetrating into the lane, but the freshman shot wouldn't go. Rebound to the Bulldogs and down the floor. Dorn Smith for the one-hand slam dunk. Ends up almost in the student section.
Not the cleanest dunk we've seen from him this year, but was able to throw it down and get that student section going. That numbers back the other way.
And another turnover, and Dorn Smith has the ball poked away from behind, or did he lose it out of bounds himself?
I think he lost it out of bounds himself. It was a 3 or a 4-on-1 opportunity for Martinsburg, and I think Dorn Smith saw every single option he had and just forgot to take the basketball with him.
Timeout on the floor. Looks like it'll be taken by Martinsburg. Head coach Dave Rogers wants a full timeout. Let's take it as well. We've got 4:17 remaining in the contest, and Martinsburg leads by 10.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078. Who should you call when it comes to your real estate legal needs?
This is Chris Luttrell, local real estate attorney with offices in Martinsburg and Charlestown. Let's be direct. Buying or selling your home is a matter not to be taken lightly. At my firm, Luttrell LC, we possess the experience and knowledge to represent you and ensure your most important investment is protected. Give us a call at 304-267-3050, 304-267-3050, because at Luttrell LC, your home is our business.
It's a 10-point lead for Martinsburg. They led by 10 in that first half. Hedgesville went on a nice run to get right back in it. Got to within 2 before Martinsburg led by 3 at the half. We were tied in quarter number 3, 36-all, 38-all, 41-all. Then Martinsburg goes on a little run to take a 49-42 lead coming into this fourth quarter. And now the Dogs have stretched it out to 10, and they have put on some full-court pressure.
And I wondered when we were going to see it. I think this is the opportune time, up by 10, as we're about halfway through this fourth quarter.
Wilmer into the back courts, into the front courts, and started down the lane where he collided with Jarvis Thurston, but they're going to get a whistle and a foul on Trey Sager with a push from behind, and Sager just picked up his 4th personal. That one hurts, and now Anthony Smith, who has 4 fouls, is getting ready to come back in.
What'd you call it, a battle of attrition?
Yeah.
It's what it's turning into.
Javen Wilmer, 3 for 3 from the line, but all the way back in quarter number 1, steps to the charity stripe and puts it up and through. It rattled around, but he got it. Jarvis Thurston quickly back out. Sager is out as well, as both Villa and Anthony Smith come in, and each with 4 fouls.
And that is, somebody's going to have to step up big time here. I was going to say there is a huddle at the foul line right now, right before the referee about to bounce the ball back.
Yeah, Elijah King, the freshman, got off the line and went to the backcourt, and a huddle ensued, and Coach Church talking with an outside official, and maybe it affected Wilmer, who misses the free throw. The Dogs the other way with a 58-49 advantage. Anthony Smith giving it off to Dorn Smith in this right corner. He's going to dribble it out deeper on the wing and give it right back to Anthony Smith. Looks like the Dogs may want to run some time. Elijah King, the freshman, trying to guard the Bulldog junior, Anthony Smith. And as Smith dribbles to his left, we got a whistle and a foul on Elijah King. That'll be his 2nd.
And you can tell King getting limited minutes tonight, just not quite able to keep up with the athleticism of Martinsburg. Guy's got some good experience this year so far, playing in a good amount of games, but just not quite able to keep up with the speed tonight, as he has gone scoreless and picks up his 2nd foul.
That is 17 fouls. Thurston comes back in to spell Telrin Villa, so he doesn't pick up a personal, and Anthony Smith goes to the line for the front end of the 1-and-1.
Yeah, I think when possible, you're going to try to switch offense for defense as much as you can if you're Dave Rogers.
Smith has not been to the line tonight, a 65% foul shooter, 13 of 20 on the season, and it rattles in and out, no good. Sheldon Everhard with the rebound. Into the front court on the dribble up this left sideline. Around the screen set by Matthew. Bullets a pass in the lane to Jamison Matthew, and his shot good off the glass. That's a nice pick and roll.
It is, and a tough shot for Jamison Matthew. He was directly under the basket. Really had to extend that right arm and go up with the reverse to make that shot, but wasn't an easy one.
Anthony Smith in the front court again, guarded by King. Down to 3:17 and counting. 58-51, the Bulldog lead at 7. Jarvis Thurston with it on this right wing. Jamison Matthew comes out to guard him. Thurston sending to Stobbs in the left corner. Dribbles back out on that wing and gives it to Anthony Smith. Smith in the lane to Dorn Smith. His shot a little too strong, and Ryan Fry gets the backside rebound. Fry up the floor to Wilmer. Stops in that right corner. 3 on the way. He got it. What a big 3 for Javen Wilmer.
Huge shot. And back at the other end, Dorn Smith, I think, was expecting some contact down low, which is why that shot just skimmed off the backboard and missed the rim completely. And Coach Dave Rogers wants a timeout as we have a ball game here at the Fieldhouse, Matt.
It'll be a 30-second timeout. Let's go ahead and take the 30-second break as well with 2:43 to play, and Martinsburg's lead cut to 4.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Well, Matt, 2 teams riding 5-game winning streaks coming into this one. Hedgesville at 11-2. Martinsburg has had a couple of games postponed due to weather conditions, so they come in at 8-2. We're getting everything we expected.
Yeah, absolutely. And no matter who wins this game, I think both teams have proven that they're going to be in for the long haul once you get into the postseason.
Good job, Teddy Marshall, dribbling through some traffic as he got into the front court and then into the lane and then pulled it back out. And now Anthony Smith with a drive into the lane, floats that runner up and in. Smith has 11 points, his first of the second half. Big bucket, 60-54 Martinsburg. Wilmer, deep 3, right side, rattles in another one. Turns to the Hedgesville faithful, putting the 3 fingers up, pounding his chest as he gets together with teammates. Timeout on the floor. This one is taken by Hedgesville as the Eagles get back to within 3. A full timeout will take 60 seconds as well. 2:18 to play. Don't go away. Martinsburg in front, 60-57.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control 4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
All right, Bulldog basketball, length of the floor to go with a 3-point lead in 2:16 remaining in this one. Hedgesville's got Kobe Bowen back out there. He's going to be the point man on a trapping defense. And just across midcourt, Teddy Marshall is bumped into by Naheem Romans, who was trying to reach in and take the ball away. And that is going to send Teddy Marshall to the charity stripe.
And an unnecessary foul. They had trapped Teddy in the corner in an awkward spot, and just no reason to commit a foul that far away from the basket in a 1-possession game with over 2 to play. Putting a very good free throw shooter at the line in Teddy Marshall. He's 4 for 4 on the day.
Are you knocking on wood or something?
Knock on your head. Does that work?
That works. He's got 16 points on the night right now, leading the Bulldog charge and make it 17.
Aren't you the one that tells me there's no such thing as the broadcaster's jinx?
There's not. As if knocking on wood would
do anything anyway.
Nullify the broadcaster's jinx, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what is there about wood?
Now, which superstition do you want to believe in? Knocking on wood or the broadcaster's jinx?
61-57. The Martinsburg advantage, 2:05 left. Whatever you do, guard Javen Wilmer. Free throw up, he got it. Marshall gets them both to make it 62-57 Martinsburg, and it's Sheldon Everhart working into the front court. Around a screen set by Wilmer. Everhart, step back three from the left side. It's off the front of the rim in a battle for the rebound, out of bounds. It will go off of, it looks like Elijah King down inside. It belongs to the Bulldogs. So the Dogs will have the basketball with a 62-57 lead. Offense for defense or defense for offense substitutions the case right now for Hedgesville.
This becomes a big series for both teams. Martinsburg, you want to drain some time off the clock and you want to get a score here. And for Hedgesville, you can't commit a foul and you want to get a stop. You need a stop at this juncture of the game.
Teddy Marshall sending to Anthony Smith on that left side of the floor, dribbling through some traffic. Back to Marshall on this right wing. Gave a little ball fake on the pass. Dribbles inside the foul line, circles it right back out. Marshall now sending near side to Anthony Smith. Smith sending a pass intended down low for Telrin Villa, but we've got contact. Bodies hitting the floor, a whistle and a foul, and that is going to be Naheem Romans picking up his third personal, sending Anthony Smith back to the line. Smith in double figures with 11 points, but was 0 for 1, missing a front end of a 1-and-1 earlier in this fourth. Staub's going to be the only Bulldog on the side of the paint for Hedgesville players down there. The other three are back, ready to play defense. Free throw up, free throw good. Anthony Smith gets it to go, and the Dogs are now 2, 4, 6 for 7 from the line in this fourth quarter. The key part to their hanging on to this lead. They were only 3 for 3 from the line through 3 quarters.
This becomes a big foul shot to make it a 3-possession game.
He does just that, putting it through, and it's 64-57. Martinsburg in front. Under a minute and a half to play. Everhart, angle left side, takes it down to the baseline, spins back to his right, gets under the glass and the rim, and the reverse layup spun in off that glass. 64-59. Nice move, Everhart. And very quickly, a timeout taken by Hedgesville. Let's go ahead and keep it here. Pardon me?
I was just know it's a full. I didn't know if you noticed that or not, but let's keep it here.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to say thank you to each of our sponsors. Miller Honda of Winchester, Mirius Group, Enterprise Financial, Parsons Ford, Smallwood Small Insurance, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Berkeley County Health Department, Luttrell LC Real Estate Attorney, Mike Folk for Governor, W. Harley Miller Systems, Carpet World, Bechtel Jewelers, and D&N Auto Specialist. Also, a shout out and a thanks to Rick Alderton. We mentioned earlier about nicknames, and Rick says John's nickname when playing softball was Big Bird. So now we know. So we had Crumbs Crawford, and now we have John Big Bird Alderton.
What are brothers for, John?
Thank you, Rick.
I think the weather's a little nicer where he's watching right now than when we are.
Hey, it got up to 40 today, and it'll be in the 40s overnight. I'll take this. 64-59. Martinsburg with the lead in the basketball.
Big Bird. That's a good one.
You sound like Vic the first time he heard Crumbs. Inbounds to Anthony Smith. In the backcourt, he'll give it off to Teddy Marshall. And Marshall fouled in the backcourt. The reach in for Naheem Romans. He's got his fourth. Teddy Marshall going to go back to the line, and the final minute and 10 could take a while in this one. Marshall is 6 for 6 from the charity stripe tonight. Good ball game as the Dogs look to make it 11 straight in this series against the Eagles. Foul shot on the way. It is up and it is good. Circle your calendar for February 21st. That's when these two teams play out at the Gilbert B. Miller Center. If it's anything like this one, it's going to be fun. Second free throw on the way. It is up and it is good. 66-59, Martinsburg out in front. Everhart with it. Giving it off to Wilmer, deep on that right side, around the screen, set by Matthew. Wilmer pulls up off the dribble from the left side, his three off the rim. Garrett stops the rebound, and let's see what we're going to have. It's a held ball, and the possession arrow is going to leave it with Hedgesville.
And Coach Dave Rogers of Martinsburg just threw his hands as to say, I'm not buying that one. There was a lot of contact to the upper body of Garrett Stobbs. I think that's what Coach Rogers was referring to. But it's a held ball, and possession arrow belonging to Hedgesville. They'll have a baseline inbound from their offensive end.
Wilmer giving that inbounds to Everhart, left of the lane. He floats up with the right hand. Oh, it hit both sides of the rim, but came out until Renvilla grabbed the rebound, and he's quickly fouled as Everhart picks up his second personal. That was just a chance to stop that clock with 46.7 left. Until Renvilla going to the line. Matt, his previous low this season was 14 points. It happened twice, just 2 so far tonight for Villa.
And it's not a lack of execution. It's foul trouble he's been in. He hasn't been on the floor. When he's been on the floor, he's been somewhat productive, but misses the front end of 2 shots there hard off the back of the iron. Just when you get in foul trouble that early, it's hard to get into a rhythm. We've seen that with a couple of jump shots he's had where he just doesn't seem comfortable shooting the basketball, hasn't been able to get into a rhythm.
Well, he does get the second of his 2 foul shots, giving him 3 points on the night. Martinsburg leads 67-59. Javen Wilmer into the front court, working his way into the lane, but hang on, we've got a whistle and a foul, and it'll be a bump foul on Garrett Stobbs out top. Stobbs picks up his first personal.
41.3 seconds left. Martinsburg just trying to ice this one and hold out the clock and try to get a couple of defensive stops.
Hosby with a left side 3. It's off the rim. Bowen keeps the rebound alive as he tipped it to Everhart. His 3 from straightaway wouldn't go. Hosby gets the rebound. His putback basket is good. And quickly a timeout for Kelly Church and the Eagles. 67-61. Martinsburg with a 6-point lead. Let's take a 30-second break, then return to the field house where Martinsburg leads by 6.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I am beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
Well, not much better there in South Carolina. 60 degrees, Rick Alderman says.
Oh, I'd take that. I'd be in flip-flops and shorts.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm in shorts right now.
Well, you wear shorts when it's snowing out.
I do.
You wear insulated shorts, but shorts nonetheless.
It's been a good one here, 67-61. Martinsburg with the lead, and they'll have the basketball length of the floor to go coming out of the timeout. Just 28.5 seconds left. Still time, but you got to imagine Hedgesville, if they can't get a turnover right away on the inbounds, will have to commit the foul and hope Martinsburg misses free throws, which they have not done so far. Martinsburg's been solid from the line. Inbounds Teddy Marshall. Marshall in the back court, and eventually we do get a foul on Javen Wilmer. Wilmer picks up his 3rd.
It's not something we've had today is a lack of fouls. A lot of players in foul trouble, and a couple of players even on the Hedgesville side with 2 or 3 fouls, but 3 with 4 for the Dogs.
That's 12 fouls now in the second half for Hedgesville, 19 in the ball game. Martinsburg had 9 in the first half. They've got 6 in the second half. That's 15 on the night. Teddy Marshall to the line. Free throw up, free throw good. Double bonus. 2, 4, 6, 8. How about 9 for 9 tonight from the line for Teddy Marshall.
And 7 for 7 in this second half, and he's made some clutch ones here down the stretch that have helped put Martinsburg ahead by 3 scores, which they're back out to now, 69-61.
And he's got 10 points in the fourth quarter and 22 now in the ball game, leading the Martinsburg Charge. 69-61, the Bulldog lead, 25 seconds left. Wilmer giving the inbounds to Everhart quickly up the near side, now working to the middle of the floor, all the way to the basket. Try to one-hand slam, but it comes off the rim, no good. Rebound controlled by Anthony Smith to Teller and Villa for the two-hand slam dunk. The exclamation point at the end of what will be win number 6 in a row. Hosby going the other way, stripped by Anthony Smith. It's out of bounds and will stay with Hedgesville.
You took the words out of my mouth when Everhart missed that dunk, and I looked up the court to see who was back. I don't want to say cherry picking, but going to have an easy shot the other way. I saw Teller and Villa and knew there was going to be a flush the other way.
Well, there we go. The inbounds and the short shots in the lane would not go for Hosby on the putback after the shot attempt for Everhart, and Martinsburg gets the victory by 10. Your final 71-61. And remember when this game was in the 50s and 40s, and I looked up and said, I'm not sure Martinsburg gets to their average.
They did.
They found a way to do it.
And that's what good teams do, and we saw 2 very good teams tonight, because even you look at Hedgesville, they came in averaging 56. They exceeded that tonight as well against one of the best teams they faced all year defensively. 2 very, very good teams, and this is going to be a fun series to watch this year, not only in the regular season, but hopefully seeing these 2 teams in the postseason.
If I get it right, Martinsburg outscores Hedgesville 22-19 in quarter number 4, and it was the first and fourth quarters that really helped to make the difference for the Bulldogs, as they scored 46 of their 71 points in those 2 periods. All right, let's take a 2-minute timeout, come back and get into our post-game show, brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial. Your final from the field house, Martinsburg knocks off Hedgesville 71-61.
Get the biggest savings of the year at the 2019 Big Finish event going on now at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Martinsburg. How about an all-new Ram 1500 LTD over $10,000 off plus 0% APR? A 2019 Ram HD 3500 over $7,000 off. A 2020 Jeep Compass is only $21,266. The all-new Chrysler Voyager is $27,479 plus 0% APR. And a 2019 Chrysler 300 is only $24,815. Celebrate the 2019 Big Finish with the deepest discounts and lowest APR of the year. No money down, no payments for 90 days. Great selection, great people, and great deals at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 9 at Kelly Island Road, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Online at millerschryslerjeep.com. Stock numbers 20126, 20017, 19347, 20135, 19232. All payments based on approved credit, taxes, tags, and processing fees extra. See dealer for details.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
We welcome you back into the field house, getting into our post-game show brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Call Ameriprise Financial at 304-263-4343 to discuss your retirement or investment questions. You could also stop by their office. They're at 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. We've got John Big Bird Alderton running the camera, and Eric Sterick back at the studio. Wow, what a game. And Matt, as we look back through, we were tied at 5. We were tied at 10 in quarter number 1. Dogs go on a 10-0 run, open up a 20-10 lead. Hedgesville starts to rally, but Martinsburg still holds that lead at 8 after 1, 24-16. But that Hedgesville rally really picked up pace early on in the second quarter. A 12-4 run that got them back to within 2, 24-22. As Martinsburg tried to push that lead back out, well, Hedgesville would stay close, and we went into the locker room at the half, 36-33, Martinsburg in front by 3. But Hedgesville got the first 3, a 3-pointer from Javen Wilmer to start the second half. We were tied at 36, tied again at 38, tied again at 41. But again, Martinsburg goes on a nice run. They open up a 49-42 lead going into quarter number 4. And then the Bulldogs really won this one from the foul line in that fourth quarter, outscoring Hedgesville 22-19, and the Dogs get the victory by 10.
This game was everything it was advertised to be. This was the definition of two very good teams, two bitter rivals facing each other on a Friday night. You could not have asked for a better game between these two teams tonight. And again, I said as we were closing the game out, if this is any indication as to how each game is going to go, or at least one more regular season game and hopefully a couple of postseason games, if this is any indication of how those are going to go, we are in for some very, very good basketball. And looking at the schedule, like you said, the next game is until the 21st of February. So you're going to have hopefully a lot of great late season basketball, meaning late regular season and into the postseason. But you saw the athleticism of Martinsburg. You saw the quickness of Hedgesville that I don't think we were expecting, having not seen them yet this year, and just basing that off of the history of Hedgesville and talking to Kelly Church and the overall scoring output, expecting, I think, more of a slow-paced game. And we saw a lot of athletes out there for the Eagles tonight as well, able to really hang neck and neck for the most part with the athletes we talk about game in and game out for Martinsburg.
Yeah, it was at times a little bit of a surprise, if you will, especially in that first half, the way that Hedgesville was able to get to the rim, in particular Evan Hosby and Sheldon Everhart, at times even Javen Wilmer. But Martinsburg adjusted defensively, didn't allow those same kind of drives in the second half that Hedgesville got in that first half, and did not send them to the line in the second half, but 6 times after 13 free throws in that first half for the Eagles.
Yeah, free throws will win games or lose games. And really, you look at both sides, both shot very, very well from the charity stripe for what they had done as a team in this season. For Martinsburg, it's the reason they won, and for Hedgesville, it was part of the reason they were able to stay in the game in that first half. Not a whole lot of trips in that second half, and only shot 50% in that second half, but it was the foul shots made in the first half, especially by Evan Mosby and Javen Wilmer, that were able to keep them in the game and keep them with a short deficit going into half. So free throws a big part of this game, as they are in most high school games.
And in the end, it's Martinsburg that made a few more, and they ultimately come out on top as the Dogs get the victory by 10, 71-61. We'll take a 1-minute timeout, come back with more of our Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Postgame Show. We'll run some numbers from this one when we come back. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
Carpet World is more than just carpet. Carpet World specializes in a complete selection of hardwood floors by respected names like Armstrong, Bruce, Shaw, and Mohawk, and tile by Dowell Tile, American Oleum, and Mannington for all rooms in your home. And Carpet World can update your bathroom shower with very attractive ceramic tile walls and floor. Financing with up to 12 months deferred interest is available, along with experienced quality installation at Carpet World, 2330 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. CarpetWorldofMartinsburg.com.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom make dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're a part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
I'm thinking about it. And we are back one more time here at the Martinsburg Fieldhouse. May have caught some of our post-game plans.
Meet us at Buffalo Wild Wings if you want to. We're all going there after the game, get some grub, the odd adult beverage for some of us, but meet us there if you want to. We'll be at the Buffalo Wild Wings, Foxcroft Avenue, and talk about the game. I'm sure there'll be a couple of fans there after this one.
It was a good one, no doubt about it. Time for us now to take a look at the post-game stats, much like our halftime stats. They're brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Learn more about his campaign at FolkWV.com. Individual numbers from Matt.
This is what they look like for the now 9-2 Martinsburg Bulldogs. 11 points for Trey Sager, 9 of those coming in the first half. Dorn Smith finishes with 11 points, 5 points for Telrin Villa. Again, a season low, but that was because of the 4 fouls. 3 of those he picked up very early in the ball game. 9 points for Garrett Stobbs, 22 for Teddy Marshall, and 13 for Anthony Smith. The Hedgesville Eagles now 11-3 on the season. They snap a 5-game win streak, but still winners of 5 of their last 6. Their individual numbers look like this. 23 points for Evan Mosby, shattering his season average of 13.2. What did I say?
Mosby.
Did I say Mosby? Let's go with Hosby. That actually is what I've written on my paper. Let's go with that. Evan Hosby, 23 points for the 6-foot senior. Again, averaging 13.2 coming into the game. Absolutely shattering that with 23. 21 for Javen Wilmer after 9 in the first half. 10 points for Sheldon Everhart. Kobe Bowen had 4 in the first half. He would finish with 4 and 3 for Jamison Matthew. Those are your individual numbers for Hedgesville and Martinsburg. And the Eagles now 11-3, Martinsburg 9-2.
Some team numbers. Martinsburg knocked down 6 3-pointers to Hedgesville's 4. How about the numbers from the charity stripe? Martinsburg was 15 of 17, including 12 for 14 in quarter number 4. They had only been to the line 3 times through the first 3 quarters, 3 for 3 in those attempts, and then 12 of 14 in that fourth quarter. One of the reasons why they pulled away for the 10-point victory. By the way, that's 88% foul shooting. Hedgesville, 15 of 19 from the line, including making their first 10 before finally having a miss. They shoot 79% from the line. 19 fouls committed by Hedgesville, although many of those in the end of the game just trying to prolong it, stop the clock. Hope Martinsburg missed some free throws. The Dogs committed 15 fouls. I've got Martinsburg at plus 10 in rebounding, 36-26, and I've got Hedgesville at plus 3 in turnovers. 11 for Martinsburg, just 8 for the Eagles. There you go, some team numbers from this one, and our post-game stats brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Let's take one more 1-minute timeout.
Let's do it.
Then we'll come back and name our player of the game and set you up for our next broadcast and what is next for both of these teams. Again, your final in this one, it's Martinsburg 71, Hedgesville 61.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We are back one final time here this evening at the Martinsburg Fieldhouse, wrapping up our Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial postgame show. It is time now to name a player of the game. I think we could do it really for both teams. Javen Wilmer and Evan Hosby, they may tie for that honor for the Hedgesville Eagles. Both of those guys just played lights out. I'm tempted to go more with Wilmer, even though he had 2 fewer points, just because of the way that he kept them in it with those deep threes and great plays in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I think you look at Wilmer, I think he did it a little more consistently throughout the entire game. 14 and 9 in each half for Evan Hoseby. So I mean, it's still relatively consistent for him, but I don't know. I think you could do duel, and there's no question who's going to get it for Martinsburg. It's going to go to number 15, Teddy Marshall, finishing 22 points, and his night at the line, 10 for 10.
Knocked down 2 of the Bulldogs' 6 3-pointers. He was key, no doubt about it, as he helps to lead Martinsburg to the win. So congratulations to Javen Wilmer and to Teddy Marshall, today our players of the game. All right, before we go any further, congratulations goes to Musselman. Thank you to Brian Horner keeping us up to date as the Applemen get the win over Spring Mills, 58-50 tonight. So right now the pecking order early on here in the section seems to be Martinsburg, thanks to this win, then Hedgesville, then Musselman, and then Spring Mills. But again, still plenty of time. We're at the midpoint or just a little past the midpoint of the season. We'll see how it continues to play out. What is next for both of these teams? Let's start with Hedgesville. They will be hosting Jefferson, and that will be next Friday night. So they got a little time to go back and look at this one, examine the film, and get ready for that matchup against a pesky Jefferson team. By the way, that's the next opponent for Martinsburg. Jefferson will come here to the Fieldhouse on Tuesday before the Bulldogs go to Hagerstown and Broad Fording Christian Academy next Friday, and we'll have both of those game broadcasts for you right here on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Again, Jefferson, I think, surprising some people with their youth and how successful they have been. Let me look real quick and see if I can get a final on that game. Had the Max Preps page pulled up, but you know how much that is hit or miss.
Yes.
And, yeah, can't get a final score on that one, so aren't going to be able to tell you what's going on in Jefferson County this evening, but make sure to tune in to Miller Time on Monday. We will have a full scoring recap for you of the weekend. And don't forget, coming up here in just about 2 minutes, we will send you to Basketball Friday Nights in West Virginia with Ryan Epling, and be sure to tune in here. Mr. Miller, give a recap of this one coming up here. You're scheduled for what, 9:20?
Yeah, we've got to wrap it up.
We got to roll.
Call. Yeah. Hey, and don't forget, we've got Shepherd Rams basketball coming your way tomorrow on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. You'll catch the broadcast as well through the Shepherd Rams website as the Rams welcome Kutztown into the Butcher Athletic Center. The women's game is at 1, and the men's game will follow at 3. And we'll get on the air at about 12:45. Meanwhile, on the radio side, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. The pregame 12 noon will be the tip as Missouri invades the Coliseum to face the West Virginia Mountaineers in that SEC Big 12 Challenge. Hello, special thanks to each of our sponsors supporting our coverage of high school basketball. As always, we thank you for joining us at each of our broadcast entities. Thanks goes out to both head coaches providing interviews and information for our broadcast, and thanks as well to Acting Athletic Director Brian Sine, Principal Trent Sherman, and all the folks here at the Martinsburg Fieldhouse for their help and their hospitality with tonight's broadcast. Our engineer at the studio is Eric Sterick. Our cameraman John Alderton. For Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller, reminding you final score tonight, it is Martinsburg 71 and Hedgesville 61. Until next Tuesday, so long, everyone.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Basketball featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's game has been brought to you by
Miller Honda of Winchester, the Mirius Group at Ameriprise Financial, Parsons Ford, Smallwood Small Insurance, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, the Berkeley County Health Department, Luttrell LC Real Estate Attorney, Mike Folk for Governor, W. Harley Miller Systems, Carpet World, Bechtel Jewelers, Hagerstown Ford, the Brown Funeral Homes, WVU Medicine, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and NBA basketball, keep it tuned to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. All rights reserved.
Big win tonight.
Oh, so we put that score in backwards. Well, let's fix that. That's good to know. Yeah. So 49-37.
49-3700, yes, sir.
Okay. We will fix that right now.
You're 9-3. That's much better than 8-4.